Lord Jesus, it is you who wakes me up every day.
Every day. Rest in peace to X.
Somebody tell the law, I got 100 Moors. If the blood pours, I got 100 Moors. Even my Demegod riding for the cause. And she rock, boy, you niggas rock, boy. Somebody tell the law, I got 100 Moors. With 100 Moors.
This the God Hour podcast. Moors Rise. You're rocking with Demegod, the big homie's big homie.
Yup.
And we here today, and we gonna get into segments about who are the Moors in America and what is a Moor. But before we get into all that,
What is a Moor?
I got some special guests for you. So my idea was to bring in entrepreneurs, artists, people on social media, that social media influencers that push the hip hop culture in a conscious way. You know what I'm saying? We're not only targeting conscious people, but this is a conscious podcast. But we have everybody up here. And today we got BBS.
Brand building specialist in the building.
My brother is a very prolific brother in the community in Mount Vernon, New York. His store is named Digiprint. And you can follow him online at Digiprint Global.
Digiprint Global. All
And,
platforms.
all platforms. And yo, it's a pleasure to have you here, bro.
I appreciate you bringing
Thanks,
me,
bro.
B.
That's a fact.
I
That's
appreciate
a
it.
fact, bro. Yeah, man. So let's get into your background as far as business is concerned.
My background. I've done a lot of different things. You know that. I come from a Christian household. You know, my mom, she did her best to try to raise me properly. So from young, I was in a choir. I got to tour the world from young. Got to sing in some movies and stuff like that. Had a couple of experiences before I actually hit the streets at like 15.
Dope.
So by the time I got outside, I thought differently than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So, I always had a way with the ladies from back in the day. So eventually, I dabble in pimping for a little while. Made some money there. Then realized there was some of the rules that I really didn't approve of as far as how to deal with women, different things and stuff like that. So I left that game and then got into modeling, managing models and different things like that. And that's when I really started to learn how to, learn about clothes and stuff like that. Because, you're dealing with fashion and dealing with models, you're dealing with a lot of
That's a fact.
fashion and different things
Fashion
like that.
and models is like
Go hand in hand. That's a fact.
Music too. Music, fashion, models.
Exactly. And at the time I had an artist, so I was trying to go to different showcases and stuff like that. And I was also making clothes and doing people's flyers and stuff like that. And that's eventually how the BBS brand came about, because we were basically looking for artists that we could help catapult their careers by giving them the look and the girls and all that and the lifestyle that they were selling on TV. And it worked. I ended up meeting my dude, Master Moor. Shout out to Master Moor.
Master Moor.
We was doing the Black Diva thing.
Black Diva. Shout out to Black Diva.
Black Diva still going strong. Shout out to Master Moor. We get a lot of headway with that. And then eventually I opened up Digiprint, just trying to bring back that brand to the community. And it's been good ever since.
That's dope.
I kind of left the modeling, ain't no real money in modeling anymore, but it's still
urban modeling.
Urban modeling, yeah, because there's a lot of difference between high fashion modeling and urban modeling.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
We basically help people promote themselves through branding, whether it's girls, whether it's printing your clothes, printing your flyers, doing your social media marketing, building your website. Anything that you could put your name on or brand, that's basically what we do.
That's a
It's
fact.
good for me.
Digiprint has done a lot of work for me in the past. You know what I'm saying? All my videos, when you see my videos and you see my Demegod logo and you see the Moor's head and you see the More Money Entertainment, that's BBS. That's Digiprint. You know what I'm saying? So he do all my merch, and that's why I got this brother up here today. But what I want to talk about is what are you doing in the community right now to I know y'all got a promotion that y'all running.
Yeah. We do
Tell
have
us
a
about
great
that.
promotion right now. Well, basically, we want to give back. I had a lot of different customers that I might have got work for that the work wasn't completed, or just trying to create. We buy a lot of samples, so we had a lot of extra clothes that we don't use in the store. So what we came up with was every sale that we get, we give an item of clothing to a homeless person, so that they can be able to actually utilize this merchandise that we have.
That's a fact. The access merchandise that you have on the side.
Exactly.
That's dope. That's dope.
Because a lot of the Salvation Army and all them, they sell the clothes. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't necessarily want to make a profit off it. I wanted to just make sure that someone was in need was able to use it.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's one thing we're doing. I also teach classes. Every other Wednesday I go to a detention center and teach troubled youth how to make their own clothes.
That's powerful.
And then what we did was, a lot of my customers, I knew from when I started this, everybody's not meant to work for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people, I'm not even going to say it's hating. A lot of people just don't like competition. They want to be the only one doing stuff. So even since I opened up my store, at least another 10, 12 stores open up in my neighborhood. And people come over like, yo, another store open. I'll be like, I don't care, because they don't do what I do. So with me knowing that, I created a system where people that want to learn for themselves can come and learn for themselves at the shop. They can rent our equipment. They can even rent my assistant to help them if they don't know what they're doing. So it gives them an opportunity to be able to do something for yourself. Because a lot of people, they believe that you need money to do things. I could go on and tell you a million stories about how I did shit for free. Because that was my whole thing. That's why I got into branding in the first place. Because I understood, besides the girls, what could I give this guy if I don't have the money? But if I can make him his outfit, or make him his uniform, or make his flyers for his party, then he could do something for me. So it's about bartering. Exactly. And see, a lot of people think that everything is about money. It's not about money. It's strategically leveraging yourself so that there's a need for something.
That's a fact.
And once you can do that, money's not involved. Now you're building a relationship.
Let me expound on that. Let's expound on that, because I think that's a very important part. Is us as a community. We don't understand the barter system. Everything is about, everybody think it's about money. But when you're dealing with wealthy people, it's not about money with them. You know what I'm saying? They got to like you, for one. You know what I'm saying? For them to do business with you. You know what I mean? And for two, it's not, they already got money. So why, I'm already making money. I don't have to do business with you.
And that's
so
the
it's
funny
bigger
thing
than that.
Don't be getting, like, it's like
bigger than that.
People that get real money, they want to know that you're not money hungry. If you're money hungry, then you're likely to do something underhanded. And they don't want to deal with that. Because like you said, I don't really need the business. I like you, so I like to do business with you. Exactly. Or I might like the way you do business. But don't get it twisted. Everybody do have to get a benefit. I think that sometimes people get that twisted too, where people want to ask for favors and then get mad when people don't keep their obligations to the favor that you asked them. But if there's no mutual benefit, why would I keep the obligation?
That's a fact.
If you ask a DJ to DJ your party, by the time he goes home and he tells his girl's like, you doing this free? You still doing pre-parties, my nigga? You see what I'm trying to say? Yeah, and next thing you know, he don't want to do your party no more. You mad, but what benefit did he get? But if you could come up with a strategy like, all right, well, let me give you 30 tickets and let you make your own money.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm trying to say? Now there's a benefit to him. And then people are like, well, why would I keep the money? Because when they come to the party, whose party is it? It's yours. So now your party's lit because you got 5 or 6 promoters promoting your party. But when they get there, they're screaming your name. You see what I'm saying? But these are the little things that people don't think about. They either try to use people or do it all by themselves. Yeah. But neither one of those things work. You need a team. You need a unit to be able to accomplish things.
Say that again?
You need a team and a unit to accomplish things. So in order to do that, you have to find mutual benefits for each party so that we can all accomplish something and do what we all want to do. So you got to kind of know what people want. People go into situations, most people in the industry we in, everybody heard about the 48 Laws of Power and all these books, Think and Grow Rich. People heard of them, but they don't really use them, even if they read them, because they're not really internalizing these laws. You see what I'm saying? Once you're able to utilize these laws and what you're doing, it makes everything so much easier. Now you're not stressed, you happy. You're like, yo, why is life so easy for this guy? Because he's just applying the laws that he learned.
That's a fact.
And that's what we got to start doing. That's what I'm really here to teach people. Besides me teaching people how to make clothes, I try to teach them how to fix their mind first. Because if your mind ain't right, you ain't going to make no money. You can literally know nothing, bro, and make wild bread by accident. Or know everything and make no bread because you don't listen.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So just remember that. It's not just about having knowledge, it's applying the knowledge. Definitely. And once you can apply it,
definitely,
things get easy.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yo, that was powerful right there. I want to expound on the point that you were saying that tribe, man. I was watching something yesterday, and it was some wisdom that the dude kicked, and he was just like, you only go as far as your tribe. You know what I'm saying? Your success is dependent on your ability to be able to work with people. To be able to work with people. You feel me? Because community, let's break down the word community. Let's do a little Moorish science.
In fact,
let's start breaking down the word community.
Ebonics.
The community, commune, if you break down the word community, it's commune and unity. So those two words make up the word community. So how many neighborhoods do we have, and how many communities do we have? That's the big part. That's the big question. You have neighborhoods and you have communities. Communities stick together. Communities make sure the money is flowing within the community. And when we look at our communities are more like neighborhoods. They're not communities. Let's just keep it funky. The Negro, Black, and Colored and African American, going by these titles, has put us in the position where our communities are more like neighborhoods, manufactured by people who don't live there and people who are more wealthy than us, and they make decisions without us even knowing. So you got gentrification, you have all of these things happening. So that's why it's important that we come together and have this conversation. And entrepreneurship is one of my one of my mantras for my movement. I have multiple mantras for my movement, and I'm backing entrepreneurship in the Moorish community. I'm also backing the rise of the Moorish woman. You understand? First and foremost, I think that the Moorish man and men in general have lost the science of mathematics as far as chess is concerned. Let's break down the game chess. The game chess is not a game. It's mathematics. The squares add up to a certain amount of numbers. Every piece move a certain amount of times. It's the science of life. Mathematics is the science of life.
Fact.
Einstein and people like Nikola Tesla, they made waves because they mastered the high science of mathematics. So mathematics is what breaks down the science of life in the universe. So when you play the game chess, who is the most important piece on the board? The king.
The king is the most important piece.
Who's the most powerfulest piece on the board?
The queen.
The queen. The Moorish man's salvation will be based on if he can uplift his queens. The queen is the key to winning the game. And that's a fact. So my whole movement is not just Moorish science. It's not just hip hop. It's also restoring the goddess and the divine feminine in her proper position, because that's what Moorish science is about. The fez we wear on our heads, when you see the red fez and you see the burgundy fez, or you might see a white, black fez, or like I have on today, I have on the black and gold fez, which was my mother's fez, and she gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? This is a fez that she wore back in the 70s. And how did she know that I was going to get into Moorish science and start rocking fezes? And she had it in her closet and she gave it to me. But the fez is the symbol of the woman. It's a symbol of the Moorish woman, the melanin woman, the indigenous woman, the all indigenous women. And when I say indigenous, I mean indigenous to the land, all around the planet, all Moors around the planet. So once we restore the woman back to her grace, a lot of things will start happening for us. And you was talking about pimping.
Yeah, I want to real quick. I want to touch on what you said, because, like you said about the mathematics of it, when it comes to the male and the female energy, and what a lot of people don't realize is everything is really right in front of our faces, and we just don't see it because we don't know how to break it down, right? So think about when a woman has a baby. What is she doing? She's giving birth. Right? Everything in this universe operates on the same laws. So just like a woman gives birth, an idea is birthed in your head. Then you have to bring that idea into manifestation. But what is that brought through? It's brought through feelings. What are females? They're very emotional, right? So the birth of ideas really truly comes through the female. That's how we are created. That's why the female is the one that creates life, because she's the creator. So when you understand that, when they always say every male is back behind a strong female, it's because her energy births your ideas. You create the idea and she brings the idea into reality. That's why you need the woman. But see, what people don't understand this concept. A lot of these women don't even understand that concept. So this is why we're always clashing, because we're always trying to make the opposite sex be like ourselves. Women are nothing like a man. A man is nothing like a woman. So when you start to understand how the energies work, you start to learn how to manipulate these energies. It's all law. And this is what I keep saying about learning the information. When you really understand the information and learn how to implement the information, it makes things easy. You know, when your woman starts acting up, her soul is testing you to see how much of a man you are to not react, so that you can bring her back into the light that she's supposed to be in. And then once you're able to do that, what does she do? She does whatever you say. But most men don't know how to do that, so they beef with their woman. Just like women don't understand that the man is the one to create the idea. So if he's creating an idea and you're breaking him down, talking about how he ain't shit and he can't create, then guess what? You now have a dull man that's stuck in a loop that you created based on your own emotions. So I say all this to say that it's time for us to really start to analyze the counterpart and analyze how they operate. Because once you can analyze how they operate, everything changes. Your money changes, your life changes. Everything just starts to feel like it's so much better. And that's because you're starting to understand. Last thing, even with the kids, like, your job with your kids is to teach your kids how to survive, not baby them, not kiss their ass because they crying and all that. Like, it's your job to teach them how to operate life. And in real life, when they get older, no one gives a fuck about how they feel. So you need to teach them that early, that no one cares about how you feel. They care about results. And everything you do, you're selling yourself on a result or a failure. So when people are looking at you, they're looking at, okay, can I trust this person to do what they're saying? Or can I not trust this person to do what they say? And people get mad at con artists, but con artists master their emotions. They know how to make you feel good when they want to make you feel good and not when you're not. Well, all of us mostly just moving around just obliviously. You see what I'm saying? So understand that the power is in the woman and the man is the one that gives them that power. So
facts.
Let's get back on that shit, people.
We're going to go on for a break, and we'll be right back with the big homie, Demegod.
You already know.
BBS. The God Hour Podcast, Moor's Rise. We about to pay these bills. Are you looking to promote your business? Start your own clothing line? Build your brand? Then Digiprint in Mount Vernon is exactly who you need to see. From printing promo products like business cards, brochures, and uniforms to building websites, even social media marketing. This is a one-stop shop for businesses, artists, and record labels and brands alike. They even make rest in peace, baby shower, and wedding anniversary reunion shirts for those special occasions. So check them out at digiprintmv.com. That's digiprintmv.com. And tell them who sent you. The big homie's big homie, Demegod, Islam.
It's that BK crime. I'm the one that got him wrong. Big homie. That's why these little niggas don't know me. Just did 10 for the grip. That's why these little niggas don't know me. Fresh out the coop, baddie dancing on me, acting like she know me. Like, ain't you the big homie? Big homie, big homie.
Yeah, we back. This is the God Hour Podcast.
Yeah.
Moor's Rise. And this is the big homie, Demegod. We got a second guest in the building. Derrick. He's an artist.
Fox,
He does
baby.
music. And
Gotta say the whole name, Derrick Fox.
Derrick Fox, baby. Derrick Fox.
Well, now we here, we home.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad to have you here.
Word.
And just give us a little background on your music background. How long you been doing music? Type of music you do. You know.
Right.
Tell where you from, son.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro.
So, you know, I started out age of 8. You know, my aunt lived in the projects, and, you know, my big cousins was writing rhymes. And back at an early age, I knew I could write rhymes. I was putting things together like ape, grape, bape, before bape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
that's a fact.
It went from that and it started escalating. You know, middle school, I got a little better at it. High school, just kept elevating. So, you know, it really started there, New York City.
That's a fact.
Gangster, so.
That's what's up.
You know
So
what I mean?
I heard you say earlier that You how long ago you said you actually started to do it professionally? What made you decide to do it, take it from a hobby to doing it professionally?
Right. I had people tell me, you know what I'm saying? I had people tell me from going back to it from an early age, like, you could do this, right? So when you get that confidence, starting from middle school, you just keep going, like anything, right? You're an athlete.
It's a fact.
You run fast. Everybody knows you run fast, right? So,
Indeed.
It just manifested. I had these dudes in high school, right? I had my friends, I had my colleagues, my comrades. They started recording in a professional studio, and at the time I was recording on my MacBook, right? Headphones, just bringing it home, and they got into the studio. I was still in the street selling everything that you could think of, and I was telling my brothers this earlier too. I was still in the street, you know what I mean, selling everything you could think of, no pun intended. And my man came to me, yo, you got to record. He came to me like 4 times, 5 times. We in the studio now. You got to record. So I finally took to it, and we was a group of 4 before. It was called THC, Heights Connect. Washington Heights.
Heights Connect, that's fire. I like that.
Right. So
Washington Heights in the building.
That. So he kept coming to me. Yeah, we got this studio. I wasn't listening. I ain't really want to. It wasn't about not recording. I just didn't have the time. I mean, I was trapping 20 hours a day.
That's a fact.
Real talk. And so I finally went there. I found my voice. I fell in love with it. Right? I was always in love with it. It's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So we got the studio, the engineer, it worked. The chemistry was there. So I started recording music about 2015, 2016. Recording music, professionally. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully.
So how many independent projects? You got music on iTunes and all that right now?
Yes, sir. All platforms. We talking about Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, you name it. I got 3 projects. I did 3 independent LPs. 16 tracks, 17 tracks. One of them was 20. I made the people wait. So
That's
3
dope.
projects out right now. We got Superhero, we got The Fix, and Mind, Body, and Soul.
That's dope.
Gangsta.
That's dope. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Y'all look for that. Y'all go on iTunes and y'all look for that. I want to ask you, how do you feel about the state of hip hop and music today, from where it was, they called the golden era of the '90s, to where it's at today? Like how you gauge it? What's your gauge on it?
I'm gonna be honest. On a commercial means, it's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to see a lot of artists making money. You don't got to be the biggest artist to make millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? It's finally being appreciated with Jay-Z going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? That's a big acknowledgement. Obviously, on a back end, we not gonna talk about that. On the back end, as a colored person, you know what I'm saying? We want that acknowledgement when it. Yeah, when it comes to us, but as a contrast, there was a lot more creativity, and naturally, that's because we saw it for the first time, right? But in general, I thought that there was a lot of creativity before, and now it's a little bit watered down. It's a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? I think that you don't have to have the substance that you had back then. You don't have to have the background. I think artists is getting younger and younger in general, and it's being more mixed in with social media platforms, where if you lit there, then you lit everywhere. Yeah. Right. So it's not
manufactured.
Right. It's not as street orientated, which could be a good thing and a bad thing, but definitely more substance back then, more commercial success now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, it works. I got to do it in this climate. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to adjust.
That's a
fact.
You
just got to acclimate.
So do you bring that into your music? Like, do you, because of how the climate has changed, do you stick to your roots as far as old school content, or do you go more with, the new school sound, if you want to say it that way?
Most definitely, I stay original. The reason being, I don't have the natural inclination to do something that young dudes is doing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not my lifestyle. I go by lifestyle, right? The lifestyle that I had and the lifestyle that I have. So I do my own original style. I definitely try to accentuate what New York City, my city, is doing, right? So if we saying facts, you know what I'm saying? You say something to me, I say gangster, right? As okay, then I'm putting that in the music.
That's a fact.
I definitely try to accentuate and use all my tools like toxic, you know, put those things in there because my city gets it. It'll be a big city.
Do a lot. Fab used to always try to use the lingo.
Right. Fab is big on that. Fab takes it from everywhere.
So
You know
I wanna chime in real quick. I heard you not to put you on the spot or nothing, but this show is about Moors, and the term of colored person is a term that we no longer want to use for ourselves because we're not colored. Actually, the European is the one who's colored.
Okay.
Because when he's mad, he's red.
Facts.
And when he's cold, he's blue. And he's all these different colors.
gray.
Exactly.
It's
So
usually
so we got to know and understand that the whole reason of the show is to magnify the Moors in entertainment, the Moorish mentality and the Moorish culture, as well as entrepreneurship and all that. So, real quick, before I ask you this last question about your music, I want to give respect and props to the noble Jew Ali, who is the head of this divine movement. He's no longer with us. He's a man that basically was the forerunner for Marcus Garvey. A lot of people don't know who Noble Jew Ali is, but Noble Jew Ali, if it wasn't for Noble Jew Ali, we probably wouldn't have Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, and Master Fard Muhammad probably wouldn't be in the scope of where we at. So we want to give respect to Noble Jew Ali, who I'm taking the baton from, as well as all the rest of the Moors around the world, to enlighten about the Moorish divine movement of the Moors. So I just want to read this quick little thing about what Noble Jew Ali said about the Moors in America.
Sure.
This chapter of Noble Jew Ali will address America's. Matter of fact, I want to let you know that what I'm about to read is from Noble Jew Ali, Exhuming of a Nation, written by Sheikh Elu M. Pleasant Bay, who is Swift Angel, who is also an elder of ours, an OG of ours. And I'm going to read this passage from page 29. This chapter of Noble Jew Ali will address America's esoteric quest and her machination of an entire people. This illusioned nation is like a garment made from the fabric of Maya, woven in U.S. slave laws and laced with the political seams of the reconstruction of amendments 13, 14, and 15. Made of Maya, these people are labeled Negroes, black people, and colored folks, are in the semblance of a nation, yet they are neither a people nor a nation, right? They're neither a people nor a nation, and therefore do not exist on the international tapestry of the human family. Tragically, the NBC people and all other nations of the earth feel in their hearts there's something very, very wrong with this picture. Somehow, they have not and cannot blend well on the international scheme of things, but only a powerful few know the reasons why. That is until the publication of the Exhuming of a Nation. Today, the subject matter is taboo and not socially correct for open discussion. This is especially inappropriate discussion amongst the Negro, blacks, and coloreds, whose last words are slavery. Oh, what was before my time has nothing to do with me. This is what they say. Yet, they probably bear the slave names of Negro, black, and colored, and African American, all slave titles, given to them by their non-existent slave masters. A slave in the true sense of the word is a mind that has not known or denies its natural state of freedom. So, we got to know and understand. Labels is a state of mind. Nigger, kingdom is a state of mind. Colored is a state of mind. African American is a state of mind. Being a Moor is a state of mind. So when you come out of being manufactured through slavery, these slave titles of colored people, African American people, these titles cut us off from our inheritance, from our ancestors. You understand? And the reason why Noble Drew Lee brought up the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment is because when these amendments came, this is when they started to make these labels prevalent. I'm black and I'm proud.
Right.
Black power. But actually, we was basically writing ourselves into ignorance, because there is no such thing as black people. There's no such thing as white people. These people are Caucasians and Europeans. Black people aren't black, they're Moors. You understand? And if you're a Moor, that means you come from a particular tribe of people, which is either the Canaanites, the Moabites, or any one of the 12 tribes, the original 12 tribes.
There you go.
And you are a Moor. So who are the Moors in America? All the indigenous people in America are Moors. You understand? We're not Negroes, we're not blacks, we're not colors. So I want to ask you, as far as your music is concerned, do you think music has the ability today to teach and bring more consciousness if it's allowed?
Absolutely. Not only do I think that it could bring the consciousness, I think that it's important that it does, right? When you're talking about hip hop, 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in 1973, it was originated by a people, who in your terms you would call them Moors, right? This is a manifestation of slavery, Jim Crow. This is a manifestation of racism, segregation, right? So it has all the characteristics of what can make it that. So absolutely, you got obviously we don't have an artist in current day, right, on the mainstream media who's bringing that to the forefront, but it's a big community, I'm sure. So I'm pretty sure that somebody could bring it to the forefront, and you have an audience for it. Mm-hmm. As with everything else, you got an audience for bullshit. You got an audience for the LGBTQ community. You have an audience for a white audience or whatnot. Not to be politically correct.
Yeah.
But I think somebody could bring it to the forefront. I think there's an audience for everything, and there's always a listener, and there's always people willing to buy, sell, an ideology. So absolutely. So
that's what basically my whole brand is about, and why I started the podcast is because I'm putting myself in a position and taking the torch, and basically coming with that conscious drill. Yeah. Like conscious trap. Yeah. So I'm coming with the Moors and the consciousness, and I'm glad to hear you say, as another brother, another artist, that it's an opening for that. We just need more people doing it. So I plan to be one. I plan to be one of those artists doing it. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So right. We're gonna
real quick.
We're gonna wrap this show up, because
can I ask you a question real quick? I wanted to ask you one question touching on what we was talking about.
Yes, sir.
You as an artist, I noticed you go by the name Derrick Fox. I wanted to know, why did you decide to go with a name like Derrick Fox instead of Gangsta Fox or some other name to describe yourself instead of giving it a real name? What made you make that decision in this climate, especially when normally R&B people might do that, but not necessarily rappers? So what made you make that decision? It
just got to resonate within yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if your name is Bozo, you know what I'm saying, and you accept that's because you're a Bozo, right? Mm-hmm. So with Derrick, that's my name, and I think that Derrick is, not by origin. I think it's a powerful name. I think it sounds good. I think, it got to sit Derrick. And then with Fox, I like the Fox. I just think that, I'm small in stature. And I respect the fact that foxes could survive everywhere and could do it by themselves. They're in every corner of the planet. I like that they're witty. I like that they're smart. I will outfox you. I will. So that's kind of where it came from. It's a long story, right? But one of my mans, he was like, I used to go by like Derrick Lowe or Rick Lowe. And my man was like, yo, what up, Rick Fox? You know what I'm saying? Because of the, you know what I'm saying, my affinity for number 5. That's always been my favorite number. So Fox 5, it just all came together and manifested. So I think that, you know, those attributes, you know what I'm saying? They don't always do the right thing. They don't always do the wrong thing. They're Fox. You gotta live with it, right? So,
that's a fact.
and they gonna eat.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's kind of where it comes from. The hustle, the attributes, the characteristics. It just made perfect sense at the time. So I just, you know what I mean?
I think that's how I appreciate you for that, man. Because you know, you come from that time when people gave you your name. You ain't just make some shit up and tell yourself,
That's a
I'm
fact.
this. You know what I'm saying? So that's respectfully, that's respect to. That's
So we gonna wrap the show up, but before we wrap the show up, is there? We know that I'm a Moor.
Yeah.
I'm a part of the Moorish Science Temple, Temple number 10. Shout out to Nature Bay.
Respectfully.
Is there any questions that y'all might have for Moor? You know, being able to sit down at the table with a Moor, you don't get to sit down at the table with a Moor. So I read a little passage about what Moorish science is about and how we are a divine nation. And so is there any questions for the Moor?
I got a question. You know, I'm just like, you know what I'm saying, with respects to you. How do you guys, you know what I'm saying? Not you guys. I don't want to put it like that, but how as a community, as a people, how do you plan to digitize and accentuate the market for that, to bring enlightenment to the people and to bring that information for people using these platforms? I've been curious about that since I got a chance to speak to you. We spoke, we chopped it down. I was in Baltimore. We had a chance to speak on the phone, and I was curious about that. How you gonna bring it to the forefront? With these modern platforms.
Okay, so this is Noble Ali and Marcus Garvey. That was a long time ago. We didn't have technology that we have today.
There you go.
And their movement brought us to this point right now. So what I'm trying to do is, for my age, and I have the elders watching me, and I have the elders' approval to take the baton and use this platform and use all multimedia platforms that the kids are basically tuning into. The social media, the music, you know what I'm saying, movies, TV shows, podcast shows, modeling, you know what I'm saying? So these are the instruments that I plan to use to implement my my agenda, or our agenda, under Noble Drew Ali, the illustrious Honorable Noble Drew Ali.
There you go.
So, but I think it's important for us to bring the fact that there's not a lot of us doing it, and not all Moors are in sync. So don't think that all Moors are Muslim, or all Moors are, because that's what they'll have you think. If you Google what is a Moor, Google is going to tell you that they were Turks, right? And they come from Northern Africa and Arabia, and that all fakeness, basically. Feel me? Yeah. So we got to know and understand that when you Google what's a Moor, they basically going to give you a fake outline of what a Moor is. But we got to know and understand. And they're going to say Moors practice Islam, they Muslim. But this is not true.
Yeah.
Moors come in all different colors, skin colors, as far as shades, I should say, because we've always had that from Africa to Brazil, North America. Like, all these continents are ancient continents, and there's always been different shades of people on these continents.
There you go.
When you say Moor, when they say what's a Moor, you know that there's Christian Moors, there's Muslim Moors, there's Buddhist Moors, there's atheist Moors, there's Moors that don't believe in no God at all. You got indigenous Moors who practice their indigenous culture of sacrificing animals in their countries. Those are still Moors. So we gotta know and understand what it is to be a Moor. Who are the Moors on the planet Earth? And the Moors are the indigenous people all around the planet Earth. You understand?
There you go.
So we're gonna wrap the show up with that. Yeah. And I wanna thank y'all brothers for coming through. You know what I'm saying? This is the first episode, first season. Yeah. And it's dope. You feel me?
Appreciate
you already know.
Know that.
The God Hour, Moors Rise.
God Hour.
Rise of the Moors.
Say that.
Make sure y'all follow me at Jermaine Boss with a G. GRMAINEBOSS. That's on all platforms. Make sure y'all go to YouTube. I drop a video to give you knowledge and information every 2 days. Hit me up.
Respectfully.
Camera right
make sure
there.
y'all follow
the
me
camera.
on all digital platforms at Derrick Fox, DERIKFOX. It's as simple as that. You know, Apple Music, YouTube, you name it. We in the crack spots. We in every. Come on now. Derrick Fox.
So yo, this is the big homie Demegod. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all can also catch this segment on my YouTube at Official Demegod, DEMEGOD. And yeah, all my social media platforms is the same. And we're gonna come back and do the second episode. I had a great time. Baron Stages. Big shout out to Baron Stages. Big shout out to Digiprint Global.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
Rise of the Moors. Islam. Peace.
You know that?
From New York.